All right, so the next chef I want to discuss is Chef Hercules Posey. He's believed to live from 1748 to 1812. So Chef Hercules, much like Hemmings, was known as a celebrity chef. He was enslaved by Washington, who later became the first president of the United States. And so with that, he actually became the first head of a presidential kitchen. Again, that is something that on paper sounds fantastic. You were the first person to manage a kitchen in the president's house. And again, it is still something to be, I think, noted and celebrated, while still putting it in the context in that he was a slave. There was a law at the time that if a slave from out of state came into state and was there for more than 6 months, that this slave could then claim freedom. So to get around this little trick, Washington would actually send out his slaves routinely every couple of months under the guise of going back to visit family, so that they would leave the state and then come back, so they were not able to ever file for their freedom. You know, he was allowed to take home scrap, for example, which meant that anything that was left over in the kitchen afterwards, he was allowed to sell, which apparently would garner him about $200 a year, which was about the salary of a hired chef at that time. And so again, he was making money. He apparently was decorated and respected in his place. But was that enough? And I think that you can see from him trying to escape that it wasn't enough. And so I think Chef Hercules was a really important figure to discuss, not only because he was the first manager of a presidential kitchen, but he was also someone who successfully was able to take those African influences of cooking, you know, with hot peppers and using peanuts and creating dark sauces and stews, and incorporating that into the everyday meals of Americans. And moreover, he normalized this fusion of using traditional African ingredients. And it's figures like Posey who were able to take these elements, put them together so beautifully, and have them appreciated on a plate. And so we've been able to now see a chef who was classically trained, and one who was able to have access to fantastic mentorship, all in the guise of being slave still.